Alright, what up YouTube? It's your boy Big Holla. We here. I'm back at it. Today, I mean, you could call this a reaction video. You can call this just like a talking video. I don't really know what to call this. But today, you know, in the world, a lot of bad things happen to people, right? And there's a lot of speculations about a lot of things. And I'm a real true believer in like facts and stuff. So with that being said, they have this case. I guess it's not really a case since it wasn't deemed like a murder. So there's not really a case open for investigation. But we have the story of Kenneka Jenkins in Chicago, right? And basically the story is, from what we know for a fact, a girl was supposed to go, told her mom she was going bowling, went to a hotel, was found dead in the freezer. Those are the only 100% fact patterns that we have. And I'm not here to try to tell y'all what to think or what my spin on the actual story may be, because I don't know. Like, you can't know for a fact what actually happened unless there is a accurate documentation of what happened step by step. There's no way anybody can confirm 100% what happened. But my problem is that people speculate, and I just want to throw this out here because it kind of bothered me when it happened. The original story, let's go back to the original story of what supposedly happened to Kenneka Jenkins, right? So the original story was her friend set her up for $200 or $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever, however amount of money it was. She was set up by her friends to come to the hotel and then to be raped and murdered by dudes who were at the party for some whole other reason. That was the fact pattern that was thrown onto Twitter. And I feel like this really exposes some people's problem with rape culture, because look what happened. They threw this big old thing about rape out there, and then it just got swept under the rug when you find out it wasn't true. Rape is a very, very serious accusation to make, to just throw out there upon people if you really have no evidence of it. Like, this is not speaking on those who cry out on their own rapes. This has nothing to do with that. But for people who say she was raped and have zero evidence of it, and then it just gets swept under the rug and nobody's held accountable with the finger to them, like, hey, how did you actually come to that conclusion? Because you just said it. Like, it's not a really meaningful thing that actually happens to people. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So my thing about the rape is there was no autopsy that came out, or no rape kit done to know if this girl was actually raped or not. Like, there was no, besides audio that was in the video that people said the girl was saying help me, or the girl said, or the guys in the background said let's rape this B word, you feel me? That's all the evidence y'all had. And even if somebody in the video did say let's rape her, right? Say for instance that's true, you don't know if it actually happened, because I've been seeing videos of people say, hey, I'm gonna kill you, and the next day the person's still alive. So there's no 100% fact that that person actually did what happened. And people were trying to look off the girl's glasses. I'm not gonna go in depth. I'm not showing any videos of anything. We've all seen the videos 1,000 times. So me slowing the video down, pointing, giving my representation, there's a representation that stands for anything out of here, out of what happened, how you could interpret what's going on. But they were trying to find out off the girl's glasses what was going on in the background of the video. My thing is, like, if this was really a setup by her friends, why would her friends be on Facebook Live on her phone while they're setting her up? These are just skeptical questions you need to ask yourself, because I feel like some people come to a conclusion without ever thinking, like, why do I think this happened? Or why would somebody do this? Or why? Because even with murderers, people say you can ask, why did this murderer do this? And you can come to a conclusion that this person came from this type of lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. Or this person had psychological issues, blah, 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 or this person hated this person, was heartbroken by this person, and it was an act of passion. There's a lot of conclusions you can draw when somebody is murdered. But for a girl to be on Facebook Live on the girl she's about to murder's phone, or the girl she supposedly set up, if she's on her phone, then why would she be on Facebook Live while this is going on? It just doesn't make sense. And then they had the screenshots come out of what was going on in the video. So what the screenshot said is basically that the girl, right, was set up. Like, they were talking about how to set up. There was Snapchat messages, and I was sitting with my girlfriend when this happened, and I asked her, I was like, so these are Snapchat messages between the girl who set him up and the guy, right? Saved messages, which is cool because on Snapchat you can save messages, they don't always disappear. But the issue comes in, how did they get these messages? Like, who put these messages out? Because if I set the girl up, if I was the one who killed her, why would I release it? And then if I was the girl who set her up, why would I release it? Y'all gotta ask yourself these questions when y'all look into stuff like that. So Snapchat messages are something nobody has access to unless you have access to the accounts. How would anybody have leaked those messages? Ask yourself. And even the Instagrams that had the post about, oh, like you set your friend up, you fouled, like between the guy and the girl. Like, get on Instagram and look up the Instagram page, and y'all would have known right off rip these are fake pages. People made these pages up. And even one page, the page of the guy or the girl, their best friend, there was a page about the best friend, and if you got on there, you would see the girl, a guy, you could tell a guy ran the page, and you can tell that, well, you could tell a guy ran the page. The reason you could tell a guy ran the page is because he shouted himself out in the video. It may have not looked like it to y'all, but he shouted himself out. Why would she take one person's video of somebody from Detroit and then put it on the page and say, oh, you blah, blah, blah. Like, basically it was like, you wasn't there, so why are you speaking on my situation, blah, blah, and tag the guy. Why would she put, why would that one video be the only video that person picks? Then when you go to the person she tags, it's somebody who does music. It's somebody who does, it was self-promotion. Like, people do this stuff because they know they get the clicks, people follow blindly. Now he has 30,000 more followers than he had the day before. Like, these are things y'all have to pay attention to. Like, just be skeptical sometimes. But now everybody swept that whole story under the rug, and let me tell you how we got to the point that we're at right now. So right now, what the story is that she walked into the freezer and closed herself in. And people are saying, in people's mind, they're thinking, wow, this girl was raped and killed, set up by her best friends. Then when they find out all of that isn't true, now they're like, well, then who killed her? So now you're trying to find things in your head. This is how the brain works. Like, if you already believe in something, right, and then you find out that it's not true, your cognitive dissonance will tell you to try to make what's in your head all right. So if you think she got killed, you're gonna look for things that basically check the boxes in your brain. She got killed. I need something to help me check that box in my head. And that's basically what's going on. As people are trying to find out. Now, I don't know. People are saying it's a body double, or a double, or a actor or something like that in the video, so they could try to cover the story up. People say that's not her walking into the freezer. People say that is her, and there's some guys directing her and shadows moving in the video. But just like people put audio into the videos where the girl said help me and let's rape her, like when people put that audio into the videos, you could also put those type of effects in the video too. And people do this for clicks. Like, look, any event that ever happens, right? Whether it be the Super Bowl, or any tragic event or like anything, people have memes and videos ready to go as soon as it happens. As soon as it happens, stuff is flying onto the internet, and you're like, how did people, Floyd Mayweather and McGregor, as soon as the fight ended, there was videos and edits and stuff that didn't actually happen. Like it'll show him falling. Like people edit stuff like this. This is what you have to look for. So I don't know if that's her in the video. I don't know if it's not her in the video, but just ask yourself why. How does this fit any narrative that I know of in the video? Somebody's phone. Anyway, like how does this fit any narrative in the video? Like, or any narrative that you're familiar with. They set this girl up. People say organ harvesting, but there's places where people are that they don't have any cameras. Why would they release the footage if the case was pretty much dead? Like it was dead in the water. Like all they had to do was say there's no security footage, they had old systems, blah blah blah. If they really wanted to just harvest her organs, if that's actually what happened, how did the footage come? People say the police are in cahoots with the people at the hotel and the people who harvested her organs. Like, just ask yourself, like, who, how, like, why? Come to a conclusion, why? You know what I'm saying? Why would they do this here and put all of this fake evidence out, and then you're watching the video and thousands of people are able to look at the video and say, look, there's a shadow, look, if they're making fake footage, why wouldn't they just take the time to cover that up? I'm not saying they did or they didn't, I don't know, but like just ask yourself, if you were setting up a crime, wouldn't you take the necessary precautions to make sure this stuff wasn't in your video? It just seems like the logical thing to ask. And I don't want to tell people, I always tell people like, I'm not trying to be inconsiderate of her death, but to call it a murder or a rape or a setup by her friends, to jump to these conclusions with having no 100% evidence, I don't know what to do. Oh, let me go back and talk about the Snapchats, right? And the live videos. On the live videos, they show the footage of the hotel says 2:36 or something like that. And then the Snapchat says, she's in a room at 2 something, like a couple minutes after. So they said, how did she go from being drunk in a hallway to being in a room? It depends on what time zone you're in when you're watching it. Cause I think Chicago, at least for me, I'm in Eastern time. So for Chicago, they're an hour behind us. So since they're an hour behind us, if I were to watch it, if I were to watch the live would say, 3 o'clock? No, the live for me would say 2 o'clock, but it actually happened at 1 o'clock. So it really depends on where the snapshot came from. This is the type of investigation y'all need to do. Mind you, the live is gone, because I think on Instagram the live only stays up for 24 hours or something like that. But the live is gone. So there's no way to tell where that snapshot came from, who took that original snapshot. Because if I took the original snapshot and I'm an hour ahead of them, when I look at it, it's gonna say 2 o'clock. But when they actually did it, it was 1 o'clock. And that's what you have to look at. So it is very well true that on their cameras at 2 o'clock, the girl was in the hallway. But when I watched the live, it was 2 o'clock, 2:40 something in Georgia. She's in Chicago, they're an hour behind us. So really it was 1 o'clock there. So if you looked at the cameras at 1 o'clock from the surveillance, then you would see that she wasn't in the hallway because she was in the room. And those are just simple things you have to ask yourself. I didn't come here to tell y'all what happened. I didn't come here to debate what happened, because I don't know. I haven't looked at all the evidence the police gathered. I don't know what's going on in their headquarters. Her mother doesn't even have answers yet. So who are y'all to say what happened? All I want to say is the original story showed that this internet investigation stuff that people do has to stop, because y'all don't know what y'all are talking about. Some people do. Some people do take the necessary time to, you know, filter through information. But it's stuff like the Snapchats and the stuff that it could have easily shot the whole conclusion out the sky if y'all took 1 second to like verify what y'all were talking about. If y'all looked at the Instagrams, if y'all looked at the Times, if y'all looked at like, if y'all knew that you could edit like sound into videos, and people are doing this for clicks and monetization on websites. If you knew this could happen and you took the time to verify a little bit, this story would have never blew up like it did. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve to have been blown up, but at least I'm saying, like, do some research before you run around talking. Because I know people who hopped on social network, seen a hashtag that said Kenneka Jenkins, looked it up, seen, and then the first thing they read is Chicago girl allegedly raped and murdered, set up by her friends. And then they say, wow, this girl in Chicago was set up by her friends, she got raped, she bought, no verification. All they see is screenshots that very well could have been spoofed, right? And now they're saying, yep, it happened. Look, this girl, it's so heartbreaking what happened to this, but they took no time to actually verify. None of this stuff was concluded by the police. None of this stuff was like, the rape is easily verifiable with an autopsy or a rape kit, or even if they could at least seen if she had sex, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it wasn't rape, like they would have known if she had sexual activity before she died. Some type of, like, that stuff that's easily verifiable through the police department, or like with the snapshots, that stuff that's easily verifiable if you just look up the accounts that it's supposedly coming from. Like, that's all I'm saying. So y'all can like, comment, subscribe. Y'all can thumbs down this video, because I know a lot of people are gonna be upset. But I'm not telling you that your theory is wrong. I'm just telling you, ask yourself why. Everything in the world happens for some reason. People do things for a reason. So if it was a setup, why do you think they would set it up here of all places? And y'all just comment in the bottom. Y'all just tell me what y'all think. It's your boy Big Holla. We out of here.